Alright, you guys, so today we'll be playing X by System of a Down, which is a pretty short and simple song, but it's got some particularities. So, first of all, the song's in drop C tuning, which is a hosted down familiar standard tuning, and a step further on the 6th string. So the notes are D, A, F, C, G, and C again. Alright? So, yeah. Quick disclaimer here, we'll be focusing on the studio version of this song, alright? Keep that in mind because if you hear this song live, you'll see a simplified version of this. I'll tell you the differences, but keep that in mind. We'll be focusing on the studio version, alright? So, yeah. First of all, let's take a look at the intro, which goes a little something like this. Something like that. So we'll split this in two parts. We'll explain the pattern and the gist of the song, and then we'll take a look at what's going on with the pinch harmonics, which is what makes that intro so unique, all right, and so hard to reproduce actually, because as I said, that especially for that second half, you can't play that twice the same way, all right, just because that's it's one lucky take. So yeah, basically let's take a look at the intro slowly. What's going on is we're playing the second octave of the guitar, these A sharp, C and C sharp notes on the 4th string, 10th fret for the A sharp, 12th fret for the C, and 13th fret for the C sharp, back and forward. So but there's a little in-between note, which is the C, open 4th string, which basically you accomplish by pulling off on the note. Alright, you pick once and pull off. It's harder to play slowly than faster. Alright, but that's what's going on. So yeah, that's the pattern, the main pattern on the intro. But then we get to the pinch harmonic part, and that's where it starts getting chaotic. Basically, you start picking and grazing the string with the side of your thumb. So alright, and the pattern changes, breaks basically. He does the following twice. Alright, so basically picks A sharp and goes to C sharp, pulls off twice, and goes to C. Alright, so then he returns to the original pattern. Alright, then he plays that twice, and then he just removes the in-between note, adds a little hammer on and pull off, and then he does the following, which it's pretty much impossible to reproduce, and actually it's hard as hell to play on time properly, to reproduce that properly, which goes a little something like this. Alright, so basically he plays A sharp and hammers on to C, picks C, hammers on to C sharp and picks it, then pulls off to C and picks C. So, and that's what you hear on the studio version. That's the last part. So the whole thing again. That's what you hear. So twice with pinch harmonics, twice the original pattern with pinch harmonics, once just that little, alright, and once that hard basically pattern. I'm saying hard because on speed, as I said, on speed with the original speed and the original tempo, it's hard as hell to reproduce. At least for me, I can't properly play that one. Something like that. So. So yeah, that's the intro. Hopefully that made sense. And but yeah, if you hear the isolated guitar track for X on Toxicity, you'll hear that, especially if you slow it down. So yeah, then we get, well, the rest is pretty straightforward. We get to this main riff, which goes sort of something like this. Basically, what's going on here is we're playing an open C power chord, 5th and 6th string open. By the way, if you notice this this chord sounds even lower than usual, is because he's using a baritone guitar, which it's got a a longer scale length, which makes it sound closer to a bass than to a guitar. So yeah, that's why you may hear that so low in comparison to your own guitar. For example, this one is just a standard scale length. All right, so yeah, as I said, you start with that C power chord. That's the pattern, and then he plays this A sharp and B major major third. All right, so basically, 4th string, 10th for the A sharp, and 11th for the B, and 3rd string, 9th for the D, it's 3rd, major 3rd, and 10th fret for the B, the D sharp. All right. All right. You play the B 3 times, or at least twice. You pick that twice after after you slide to it. You return to the C, and then you play this A sharp power chord to C sharp power chord, sorry. Once for the A sharp and twice for the C sharp, on the picking at least. So it's not, or as I said, I'm focusing on the studio version. Live he does, or he just plays whatever the hell he wants there. So yeah, it's slowly the whole thing. So that's the main riff. Then we get to the verse riff, which is the same notes, A sharp, C, and C sharp. And it goes a little something like this. Alright, so we're basically playing power chords, starting on A sharp, 5th and 6th string, 10th fret. Palm muted, it's all palm muted in the first half. Then C, 12th fret, same strings, palm muted. 3rd string, 13th fret, same strings for the C sharp. Back to C, back to A sharp. So with palm mute, all right, and down picking. So. And then the second half of that, we're basically just releasing the palm mute and just picking, an alternate picking, and very open. So. All right. So yeah, that's basically the verse, and then returns to the main riff. So. And then there's a little bridge which goes sort of something like this. Alright, so basically he does again A sharp, C, C sharp with palm mute, so C power chord, and then this little C single note here. You can play it in different ways. They're actually placed here in the first string, 10th fret. You bend it basically to C sharp. Alright, and return to you alternate between the C and the single note, and then alright, so that's the bridge in the gist, and then you return to the verse. So you know the deal. Then return to the open. But then keeping the same pattern, returning to the palm mute. You know the no need to multiply, no need to multiply. You just keep it with a palm mute. And it ends the following. It doesn't end like it ends going from A sharp to C. All right, that's how it ends properly on studio. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much X, guys, on studio version at least. So hopefully it made sense. Let me know if I fucked up someplace. I know my English might break. So yeah, hopefully it made sense. Thanks a lot for watching, and see ya next time.